So if you've been watching my calculus playlist, in the last video I taught you how to approximate your function. So if you are given, this function is given, say x square, x cube, root x, anything, and you know the value of function at some point, then what is the value of this function at some point plus some change in x, at x plus some change in x, that is delta x. So it's given by, it's approximately f prime of x, your derivative of your function evaluated at x, times your delta x, your change in x, plus your f of x. Okay, and the interesting part is this is known to you. Okay, and you can calculate f prime of x. That helps. And now we can use this method to develop a trick of our own, to a popular trick to find out the square root of any number. Okay, so you have these competitive exams in which you need to find the square roots, or yeah, you can use this one, and this works for any number. Okay, so say you want to find out the square root of any number, say n. Of course it has to be positive. Now the trick is to break this number n into two parts such that it's you can write it as x plus y. Okay, where you know where one of them, x or y, is a perfect square. Alright, or you know the roots of at least one of them. So where does this motivation came from? Well, our function in this case is a square root function, so f of x is root x, and we know the value. To approximate this, we should know the value at one point, and that's what our condition is. We know the square root at least x or y. Okay, capital X or capital Y. So let's say we know root x. Okay, so capital X is known to us. And now let's develop the trick. So this is our formula. So let f of x be root x. This is our function. So it's root x, right? So root x plus some change in x, some delta x, is approximately f prime of x, so d by dx root x times your delta x, okay, plus f of x, which is root x. And yeah, of course this is known to us. And what is d by dx of root x? Well, d by dx of any x to the n is n x to the n minus 1. So in this case n is 1 by 2. Okay, so d by dx x to the 1 by 2 is n 1 by 2 times x to the 1 by 2 minus 1. So this is minus 1 by 2. Okay, and then this goes into the denominator, 1 upon 2 root x. Okay, this is 1 upon 2 root x delta x plus root x. And this is where this decomposition comes into play. You can think of y as your change in x. So you know value of a square root at some point, and then you move certain distance away from it, that is y. And y, yeah, these two are the same things. Y is the same as delta x. So just replace delta x with y and x with capital X. We get x plus y square root is approximately 1 upon 2 root x times y, okay, plus root x. This is your formula. This is your approximation Okay, so even if you don't know what is your root y, no worries, it's in the numerator and you don't have to take any roots. Okay, you just need to know the root of your x. In most cases you need to decompose it into a perfect square and a number which is a perfect square and any other number. You just put this into this formula and you do the math. Now let's quickly understand this using an example. So I have written down the formula or the general method. You want to find the square root of a number n, you need to break it into two parts, x plus y, such that you know root x, and then plug your xy into this formula. Now you know where this came from, and then evaluate. Now say you want to calculate the root of 150. Okay, so again we divide 150 into two parts such that one of them is a perfect square, and you might have guessed it, it's 144 plus 6. 144 is 12 square. Okay, so root 150 is root 144 plus 6. Okay, and this is approximately, well, just put your values. Okay, so x is 144 in this case, approximately 1 by 2 root 144 times your y, it is 6 plus root 144, and root 144 is 12, so you get 1 upon 2 into 12, 6 upon 2 into 12 plus 12. Okay, and this cancels out, you get 2, you get 1 by 4. Okay, 1 by 4 plus 12, which is 1 by 4 is 0.25, so you get approximately 12.25. Root 150 as roughly 12.25. And what is the actual value? So I suggest you put the actual value in the calculator, and you'll be surprised to see 150 is equal to 12.247, and it goes on. So yeah, it's a good approximation that we learned today, and I hope it helps when you need to find square roots in a quick manner. Thanks for watching.